Hi, I'm Marcia Morgan. Welcome to my YouTube channel and our series for people getting married. Should I change my name? The impact of your last name on identity, marriage, and happiness. We are here in the wonderful Bella Bride store in Bend, Oregon. Lots of decisions happen when you get married, and it can feel pretty overwhelming. You're taking on a lifelong partner, which may also mean you're taking on a lifelong name. Choosing the one that is just right for you and your partner takes some time to think through what's going to work for you. People are getting married later in life. 28, 29 years old is about the average. They've started careers, they've started and built a reputation with their name. Perhaps they've lived together as a couple and each had separate names and know that that works. They might feel it's a hassle to change their name. Not that long ago you had to go to Social Security and DMV to change your name. Now there's 3 pages of single-space places to change your name. Our world's gotten a lot more complicated. Some people can't wait to change their name when they get married. Others people feel it's unfair and unnecessary. It's very individual. So let me give you just a few little tips, some guidelines on how you might look at the 6 most common ways to view surnames and to choose one that's right for you. But let me talk just a minute before we dive into that about the elephant in the room. Women are generally the ones that worry about changing their names and carry the burden of changing their names. About 3% of men ever change their names when they get married. So it's kind of interesting how that even happened, and I have another YouTube program on the history of why women even change their names at marriage. A lot of the same-sex marriages, although there's not a lot of statistics quite yet on that, show that most couples keep their surnames and remain as they were with their names. So anyway, the 6 areas, the 6 ways rather, to look at surnames. The first one is to just keep your name, your birth surnames, each of you, which is simple. You aren't starting over with names. I have a significant high school reunion coming up here, and I just got an email saying we can't find a lot of the women because they've changed their names. So it's something interesting to look at. It is an easier route to go. A lot of people feel it's a fair way to go. The second is to eliminate your own name and take your spouse's name. Some people view this as tradition, a very romantic thing to do. Other people feel like it's kind of unequal and patriarchal. So once again, you need to decide for yourself. The third option is what we call maiden to middle, where the woman would take her birth surname or maiden name and put it as her middle name and take her spouse's last name as her last name. The fourth rather, is to hyphenate your names together, both surnames, and that's a great way to keep them very equal. Sometimes the man and woman both do that, to the hyphenation, but it is only good for one generation because you can't hyphenate forever. The fifth is to create a whole new name, and this is an interesting alternative. A lot of couples do that. It's probably one of the least option used by couples, but it certainly can be done. Sometimes relatives are questioning why that's happening, and as someone who does ancestry research a little bit, it's a little challenging to figure out where that person fits into the family tree, but it's an option. And then 6, the last one, is to have a professional name and a personal or social name. So you kind of have 2 identities. One of them, however, has to be your legal name. So you may continue using your name in your career and your profession, your birth surname, but socially with friends and so forth, you may have legally changed it to your spouse's name. So those are the 6 common ways of changing surnames or looking at surnames when you get married. It's a very brief overview, and I hope you'll get a chance to pick up my book, which gets into a lot more detail. I talked to a lot of couples and talked about the benefits and challenges of each of those options, stories of their lives and what really worked for them. The book is available on Amazon, at your local library. You can order it through bookstores as well. Also check out my other YouTube channels. We talk about some of the history of name changes and what to do about children, which is also a big concern for couples. Thank you for joining me, and I hope that you will join me on some of the other YouTube channels and have a wonderful wedding and a wonderful life.